Welcome to the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Maryland Chapter 40-3, Southern Maryland.
Hello, my CVMA brothers and sisters. This is Big E from the Maryland's 40-3. It can get kind of crazy out there during our group rides. In order to mitigate those risks and to make our group rides consistently safe and enjoyable for all riders and passengers, I developed this Road Captain guide to help us do just that. Hey, well, the fact that you're still with me, I must be doing all right. Here, I'm going to mandate that all group rides that have 3 or more bikes should have a designated road captain to lead the group. But I also feel, most importantly, that the most experienced road captain should be assigned to the rear to clear your lanes, to monitor other riders for any kind of safety, feedback, and report any issues during our stops during the entire ride. You might ask, why do our road captains need to be experienced and designated by this chapter? Well, the road captains will be responsible for setting the tone for the entire ride. This is to include riding within the experience level of our less experienced riders. I am sure there is not one of you that has not been on a group ride where you don't recall ever being in a group ride where it was totally unsafe. You're like, what the hell is going on? And just put the entire group at risk. And that's what we want to do. We want to mitigate that. That is why we will be conducting a safety brief 10 minutes prior to kickstand up. So if we are taking off at 08, do not wait until 08 to show up. Plan to be there 15 minutes prior to ensure we do not delay our ride, having to go over the safety brief again just for you. If you are not going to be there in time, please notify a member, any member, in the group and the ride so that we can plan accordingly. But of note, we will know who's going to be picking up the first round during our, meal stop. So just FYI. So please ensure, try to make those arrangements where you get there in time, you fill up your tank, you got a full tank before we kick off, do the safety brief. So that way, after the safety brief, hey, kickstand up and we're on the road. Speaking of picking up the first round, please do not be that guy or girl that puts the group's safety at risk because you are just way too impaired. Just at any time during the ride, you just come up, talk to one of the road captains or somebody you feel comfortable with, and they'll come talk to the road captain, and we can work something out. This will include no cost, going to get a trailer, and coming back and pick you up. Because really, the intent of this is to make sure that everybody gets home safe and we can ride another group ride down the road. All right, thank you. All right, so there's another area you need to complete prior to hitting the road and to be on time for the safety brief. It's to complete your T-clocks. It's kind of basic stuff, but sometimes, we get in a rush. Take the time, look over your bike. And honestly, if your bike has known issues that could lead to the safety of the group ride, please just, take this one off until you can get your bike fixed. I know it's kind of frustrating, or even rent a bike. I know there's a couple folks in the group that have multiple bikes, but don't take a bike that's going to be a safety issue for everybody else. So going over the checklist looks pretty simple. So do me a favor. Check your high and low beam switch. Oh, God, it's nothing more annoying than riding in a group ride and you are staring at someone's high beams trying to shift lanes safely. So check that one for me, please. That's just a personal request. All right, thank you. Now here are the typical and most used hand signals for group rides. Now, sometimes experienced riders assume that these hand signals are known amongst all riders, but I can tell you when I first started riding groups, I had no idea. I was kind of like on a wing and a prayer, following the commands. Let's try to, review these, understand them, so that way we can all be in unison. But when this becomes critical, is during an emergency situation. This is not the time to be confused of what the hand signals we're trying to tell you. All right. You need to understand those signals and be able to react, not only for the safety of the riders in front of you, but behind you. Of course, yourself as well. Also of note, please never feel like it's an inconvenience to the group if you need to do frequent stops, okay? Or if there's a safety issue. Just signal for a refreshment stop, and the group should coordinate this message up to the lead road captain via hand signals. Here is the one time I wouldn't have an issue with you flashing your high beams to get the lead road captain's attention. So, after we do the safety brief, we start the roar of freedom and then stage our bikes. If you're like me and were new to CVMA protocols and was wondering why everybody was giving you the stink eye, which was me, here I outlined this for you to make it simple, all right? And this is kind of let you know where everybody falls into place. Don't assume you're going to be in a road captain position that is designated by the group ride, and the lead road captain will make that decision on who's going to be the lead. The senior road captain should be in the back as the suite. And their job, of course, is to maintain a safe riding environment. Here is another one of my pet peeves, and probably almost every other rider out there in group rides. Don't be a slinky. All right. This is where you go from a 2-second gap, 10-second gap, back to a 2-second gap, then to a 10-second gap. Nothing more frustrating than that. I don't think even high beams annoys me more. And this is usually from my experience, not always the case, but this is where riders aren't paying attention, all right, to the group ride, and their attention somewhere else, messing with their phone while they're on their bikes, just daydreaming. I don't know. But you can obviously tell their attention is not 100% with the group ride. This is a safety issue, okay? Stay focused, maintain the gap from the bike in front of you. And the gap, it doesn't have to be ridiculously close. Just close enough where cars can't merge in, but tight enough where, the bike riding, either to the top left or top right, they can weave into your lane safely without hitting you or the bike in front of you, in case there's like an obstacle or debris in their lane of travel that they can sweep over real quick and then go back into the lane after the debris or pothole, whatever the case may be. But minimize. There's been so many times where cars constantly break up the group because somebody is not paying attention. There's a 10-minute gap or 10-second gap, and then now we got a car in between the group ride. That really puts the group at risk. Now you no longer have the lead road captain leading the group, and we need to mitigate that, get back into position to where we're together again, and it makes it very challenging. So minimize that. And this a lot of times comes into play in heavy traffic, on ramps. On ramps, and if it's super congested, the on ramp does not have the right of way. Okay, and that's where we keep it nice and tight. But if they're being road rage, let them do their thing, let them get on, but try to keep it as tight as possible and as safely as possible. Also, I want to bring up another note during our group rides. There will be times where we cannot all make it through a light, okay? Here again, unless you got police escort, stop. If you can safely stop, okay? Just stop, wait until the light turns green again. I guarantee you that the lead road captain he's paying attention, or she is paying attention, and they will pull off to a safe area. It might not be visible to you right away because they had to wait until they find a safe area for the group to pull over and where you can catch back up. But I guarantee you, up the road, the lead road captain has pulled off and is waiting for the rest of the group to come through to the light. Okay, so don't take that unnecessary risk. because this is supposed to be a safe, enjoyable ride, not only for yourself, but other passengers and the other group riders. Okay? Okay, so our standard lane change. All right, we're riding along in a group, we're staggered. The lead row captain will put on their turn signal and use the hand signal, which lane they're wanting to go into based off the path, whatever course we're going. Each rider will go ahead and repeat the signal, but don't change the lane yet. Okay. I've seen this too many times where people just jump the gun, and it kind of puts the group at risk when you start breaking up like that. So wait until after the sweep. Go make sure that the lane is safe. Okay. Make sure no cars are merging, speeding up, trying to pass the group, whatever. Until the sweep clears the lane. All right. Everybody else stays in their lane. And then once the sweep gets over into that lane, and the sweep has deemed that lane safe, then we start staggering the rest of the group into that lane. Okay, and kind of do it sequentially from the back forward, and the lead row captain should be the last one to shift over into the new lane. Okay. So this is very important that we understand this in order to keep the group together and safe. All right, so here we go into a single file position. This is kind of a very necessary maneuver when there's obstacles, poor road conditions, narrow road conditions, or preparing for a curve. And there might be those instances that you say there's certain people that don't like riding next to Jersey barriers or riding, close on a bridge. That's where you kind of let the road captain know before the ride begins during the safety brief. So that way the lead road captain knows, okay, hey, I need to be cognizant of this, and I'll go to a single lane, single file, because really, as a lead road captain, I want to make sure that I go to everybody's riding capabilities and comfort level. Okay. And so that's the reason why you need to make sure you bring those kind of concerns up. So that way the lead road captain can adjust to that. All right. So when the signal is given, everybody will shift into that single lane. Follow the lead road captain's guidance. Don't really be riding in one lane or in the middle. In the shoulder, just follow the lead road captain's guidance and make sure you stay in the car's tire path on the road. Okay. There is a lot of debris, oil, stuff, potholes, stuff like that accumulate in the middle of the road, and nobody behind you wants your tires to be kicking up that debris onto their fancy new bike. So just try to mitigate that. Stay in the car path of travel to mitigate the debris flying up. And this will kind of keep everybody safe and everybody aligned. Now, as any experienced road captain or rider knows, this is the Achilles heels of most riders, okay? And that's preparing for the entering of a curve or turn. And honestly, there's some people who are just deathly afraid of it. And that's probably because they actually had a spill at one time. Okay, and then that's where you bring up those kind of concerns here again during the safety brief. Let the road captain know. If you've been riding with the group, the road captain kind of knows if he's ridden with you before. Just kind of remind them so that way we know how much slower than the recommended speed limit should we take the curve, just to make sure, because what we don't want is the group to be riding above your comfort level, and now we got a freaking 20-second gap in between the bikes on a group ride. We want to keep it nice and tight together, even during curves, coming out of the curves. The group should still be relatively nice and tight and close together, and that's where we ride within everybody's comfort level. Okay, so that this includes going slower than the recommended speed limit at times for those newer riders. At no time is a group ride a place to test skill levels for the other riders. Okay, we're not trying to test your skill level, but if you don't let us know what your skill level is, we're going to assume it's, the basics. You have the basics down. You can corner. You know how to shift yourself on the bike where when you're coming into a corner, we shouldn't be going too fast where it's going to be like a crotch rocket. Nice and easy. But again, please let us know so that way we can accommodate. And, the lead row captain is going to be making sure that, we make it safely and comfortably through the entire ride for that it counts. And this includes passengers. This isn't just riders. So if there's a passenger out there that's just not comfortable in how we're riding, bring that up. Let us know. Because I think the passengers are just as important as the riders during this group ride. I want everybody to enjoy this, and all road captains will adhere to that. So, as the group gets ready to enter a corner or turn, the lead row captain will signal the group to get in a single file. Everybody gets in a single file. Then the lead row captain will give the slow down signal. Everybody starts slowing down. And we'll go to the recommended speed limit for that corner or turn based off the experience level of all riders. And just be mindful that we might have to slow down depending on what we come across, cars or debris. Just be 100% in tune. Look through your corner or turn in case we have to do any kind of additional slowdown for emergency purposes. But the lead row captain should be going slow enough that it shouldn't be an issue, that if we have to do additional braking, we can do that safely. All right, here's one of those situations where, hey, I don't fault anybody for driving the speed limit they feel comfortable with. But God bless America when they go underneath the speed limit. So this is when we need to pass a slow vehicle in a 2-lane road. The lead row captain will signal the group, get in a single file. Everybody gets in a single file. The lead row captain will then pass when it is safe and maintains the car's speed so it can't speed up we haven't seen that before, and create a safety issue as the rest of the group comes around. All right, so after the lead row captain has got in place, then the rest of the group in single file will pass, but maintain a single file in order and move up enough where the remainder of the bikes can come up behind you. Because you're supposed to get in the same protocol positioning. Just go up, speed up a little bit. And then after the sweep, the final bike passes, all right, gets in their position, then the lead row captain that initially got in the front will speed back up into the lead position and will give the signal to go back into a double file. Okay, so I think this is kind of one of those important maneuvers, and if there's anything you need to take away from this presentation is this demonstration, okay? And this is called the rolling block lane change. All right, this is for when you're in really heavy traffic and you're trying to keep the lane or the group together, okay? So the road captain will not immediately turn on the turn signal, but will indicate via hand signal to the CO or XO position to get into the respective lane and slow that lane down in order for the entire group to safely shift lanes. Now, this hand signal will be communicated during the safety group to whoever is going to be in the CO or XO position prior to the group taking off, regardless if you are planning or not intentionally planning to hit up some heavy traffic, but this needs to be communicated so everybody understands. Okay, all bikes are to stay in place and not to shift until the lead road captain gives the signal. All right, so once the lane has been cleared, the lead road captain will signal with a turn signal and a hand signal for the rest of the group to start shifting the lane. Now, once the lane has been cleared, the lane shifting starts from the rear, working its way forward. I shouldn't see bikes in the front of the group shifting over before the bikes behind them have shifted over. Okay, this is important to keep the group together. Okay, now when you get over, you need to get into that single file on the opposite side of the CO or XO that cleared the lane. All right, why is this important? This is important so that way, once all the bikes have made it over to include the lead road captain, you give that bike has room to speed back up into the CO or XO position after all the bikes have made it over, and then the lead road captain will signal to a double staggered position, and then we'll go back into a double staggered position. And that is how we will execute this to keep the group together and keep that safe environment around our group ride. Okay, so I went over a lot of the basics and not so basics for a group ride. At minimum, come to the group ride with your bike prepared, and you are mentally prepared to join the group ride, 100% focused. Come to the safety brief. Make sure you address any concerns, or not just a safety brief. Bring it up during any one of our stops. Please do not wait until the end of the ride, and now you're just totally freaking frustrated. I'm never going to join a group ride again. Don't. Just bring it to our attention. We want to make sure that we mitigate all these risks. And honestly, if there's somebody who is being reckless, disrespectful, unruly, trust me, you let us know. Most likely the sweep, the most experienced road captain in the back, will be monitoring for this kind of behavior. We will ask that member or rider to leave the group ride because they're obviously not concerned about the safety of the rest of the group at this point. And that's our primary job, is to make sure that we have a safe ride, fun ride for all riders and passengers. Okay. And on a final note, as a common courtesy, at the completion of the ride, just, kind of take a little bit of time. Please notify the group via the GroupMe app that you have returned to base safely. Leadership really doesn't consider the group ride complete until you have made it home. You and your passengers haven't made it home safely. And as always, keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down.